Hi, my name is Joe, and today I'll be talking about Homeland Security and terrorism. As I'm talking to you today, there are terrorist groups all over the world that are putting fear into the hearts and minds of people. But when we think about the face of terrorism, we think about the big groups such as Al Qaeda and ISIS. So why do they scare us so much? Is it because they could be anywhere in America and strike at any time? Or is it because we don't feel safe by our own Homeland Security because they aren't doing their job? The answer isn't as simple as selecting one of these options, but there is some background information to why these groups scare us so much. The main terrorist group I'll be talking about today is ISIS. This is because this group is making the news almost every single day, and they've had multiple attacks all over the world that they took credit for. ISIS stands for Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, so we get the idea that ISIS started in Iraq and Syria. Over recent years, ISIS has not been showing any mercies towards innocent civilians and has been killing them by the masses. They control 50% of Syria and most of Iraq and have almost 200,000 fighters. They make over 40 attacks per month and make as much as $1 million a day from illicit oil sales. This is some background information about who the group is, but what are some reasons why we as Americans are so scared of them? One reason maybe is because they're getting bigger every single day, and as they grow in size, there's a higher chance that they will attack us here in America. Another reason why we're so scared of them is because we don't know when they will strike. We recently saw the tragic attacks in Paris, and afterwards ISIS posted a video of a few members walking around in New York City with bombs strapped to their chests on the verge of pulling grenade pins. This foreshadows that an attack may happen anytime soon in the near future, so we have to be ready. We are so scared because we don't know when this will happen, and we are frantically looking for ways to stop them before they can attack. ISIS is willing to kill anyone who gets in their way, especially anyone who is an American. From beheading videos to people being burned alive, we can tell that they are willing to go to the maximum extremes to put fear into the eyes of the world. In a Huffington Post article I read, it states that of the 17,891 deaths from terrorism last year, 19 of the deaths were Americans. Is this a large enough number to go to war with ISIS? I'm not sure, but we as Americans should not wait for the last straw to do something about this. We should start right now. Now, what has Homeland Security have been doing about ISIS? Recently, they have increased aviation security. This means that TSA will have a huge effect on us now and will be a huge pain, but it's worth it for security purposes. Another thing Homeland Security is doing is tracking Syrian foreign fighters who come from or seek to enter America. A huge issue right now is whether or not we should let them in at all, but I won't talk about that today. Homeland Security is also keeping a lookout for homegrown terrorists here in America. Any person whose social media, literature, or violent extremist ideology relates to any terrorist organization will have a watchful eye put on them. Homeland Security is also asking for the public's help with terrorism. They're asking us to say, if you see something, say something. That way we can avoid these tragic attacks. The sad truth is that the world is not a safe place, and there will always be some sort of threat toward our safety. Ever since 9/11, the biggest fear of Americans is the fact that something horrible like that could happen again. But we have learned from this event, and now we know what steps to take to avoid it, and what we do in case of the attack. Avoiding terrorist attacks is difficult because we don't know when they could happen, but America is doing everything in its power to lower the possibility of another attack. And although the war on terrorism is far from over, America is doing more than it has ever done to put an end